I find myself in a situation that feels incredibly overwhelming as my boyfriend has decided to end our relationship, and I'm struggling to know how to respond. I fully acknowledge that I've made mistakes, but his reaction feels disproportionate, as if I've committed an act that can never be forgiven. I'm not ready to let go of what we had over something I perceive to be relatively insignificant. To give you some background, I'm a 25-year-old woman, and I've been with my boyfriend, who is 27, for 5 years. We've lived together for the past 3 years, and while our relationship has generally been positive, I noticed that the excitement had started to fade. With his long work hours, our outings became infrequent, and I sometimes felt neglected. I attributed these feelings to the normal ebb and flow of long-term relationships, assuming that we were just in a phase where things were a bit routine. A few months ago, I met someone new who lives in a different city. This connection started casually. We simply enjoyed engaging conversations. I didn't seek this out. It just developed naturally. He brought a spark back into my life, complimenting me and showing genuine interest in my daily experiences. It was refreshing, especially because I felt unnoticed by my boyfriend. For instance, when I changed my hairstyle, my boyfriend barely acknowledged it, while this new acquaintance appreciated my style. It felt good to feel desired again. Initially, our exchanges were friendly, but gradually they became more intimate, leading to a series of texts that escalated into something more. After a few meetings, we ended up sleeping together. The thrill of this secrecy added to the excitement, but I never intended for it to become a serious relationship. My feelings for my boyfriend remained strong, and I viewed this new connection as a temporary escape rather than a replacement. Jay, my boyfriend, sensed that something was off from the beginning. He noticed my increased texting and expressed discomfort, but I dismissed his concerns, insisting he was being paranoid. I thought our shared intimate moments would reassure him, and I believed my actions were harmless. However, as the weeks passed, Jay became increasingly uneasy. He urged me to be cautious and expressed his dislike for my communication with this other person. Then, just a few days ago, everything changed. Jay discovered the messages on my phone when I inadvertently left it open. His expression shifted from disbelief to pain as he confronted me. I felt frozen, unable to articulate my feelings adequately. I tried to explain how I felt neglected and how our relationship had become monotonous, but he dismissed my justifications outright. I was taken aback as I watched him methodically pack my belongings. It was a surreal moment. I struggled to comprehend the gravity of the situation. I pleaded with him to reconsider, offering to cut all ties with the other guy and promising to be completely transparent moving forward, but he remained resolute. Despite my tears and pleas for understanding, Jay's demeanor was cold and final. He expressed that my actions had irreparably damaged the trust in our relationship, and that he no longer wanted to be with someone who could betray him in such a manner. I understood that I had hurt him deeply, but I believed that a 5-year relationship deserved another chance to heal and mend. I even shared examples of friends who overcame similar challenges, but he refused to reconsider, leaving me feeling helpless. I didn't leave immediately. I needed time to process everything. I still love him deeply and regret my actions. While it may sound insincere, I genuinely did not intend to hurt him. I became swept up in a moment and never anticipated the consequences of my actions. I realize now that I should have been more honest and mindful of his feelings, but by the time I wanted to make amends, he was already unwilling to entertain the idea. As a follow-up to my situation, I feel it's important to share an update. After days of living in a state of limbo, Jay did not change his mind. I decided to go out with friends to clear my head, and we had a fantastic time, which helped me feel a sense of normalcy return. One friend offered me a place to stay for the night, and I accepted, thinking it would provide a much-needed break from the tension at home. However, upon returning to our apartment, I was met with an even harsher reality. Jay had locked me out, and all of my belongings were moved to the garage. He refused to engage in any conversation, and his responses to my texts were curt and dismissive. I felt discarded and deprived of the closure I deserved after 5 years together. Now, I'm staying with my friend while I search for a new living situation. I am determined to regain my footing, but part of me is still grappling with the pain of how quickly everything unraveled. I genuinely wanted to reconcile, but Jay made his decision without allowing for any discussion or compromise. It's difficult to accept that everything we built together could be dismantled in such a short time, and I find myself navigating life as a single person, trying to process this profound loss.